How do you take something really complex, like physics or biology, and make it not just understandable, but genuinely fun for a kid? It's a huge challenge, right? But the answer might just be hiding inside a simple children's book. Okay, so let's dive in. The book we're looking at today is called Samantha the Girl's Scientist. We're going to break down exactly how it uses these simple, hands-on experiments to make really big scientific ideas just click, especially for young minds. So, first things first, let's meet Samantha. I mean, the whole success of the book really hinges on her, so let's see what makes her so good at being our guide on this journey. So here she is. And what I absolutely love about how we meet her is how relatable her curiosity is. Right off the bat, she's not talking about abstract formulas or anything. No, she's asking questions about stuff we all know, like toys and cartoons. It immediately grounds science in the real world. And check this out. These two pictures just perfectly capture her whole vibe. So on one side, you've got this serious, focused scientist taking notes, right? But then on the other, you see her totally playful side. I mean, she's imagining her brother in a cartoon jail. It's that exact mix of serious curiosity and fun that makes her so engaging. Okay, so now that we've met Samantha, let's follow her curiosity into the first experiment. Remember how she was wondering how cartoons are made? Well, the book has this really clever, super simple trick to explain it. So here's the big question for this first experiment. And yeah, it totally feels like a magic trick, but what Samantha's about to show us is that the secret behind it is actually the foundation for all animation and movies. How cool is that? Okay, so the experiment itself, it is so simple. All you need are two little cards, a pencil, and some tape. You don't need some fancy lab or anything. The real beauty here is just how easy it is to set up these two different pictures that, well, our brains are about to mash into one. All right, so here are the two drawings, the cage and the bird. And you know what's great? The book even adds this little tip for any young scientist out there. Make sure the bird is smaller than the cage. It seems like a tiny detail, but it's a great lesson in thinking ahead, which is a huge part of doing any experiment, right? Now, this part is pretty cool. You're just taping the cards back to back on the pencil. What you're actually creating is a classic optical toy called a thaumatrope. I know, fancy word. But it's a super simple little device that's about to show us something really powerful. And here it is, the big reveal. When you spin that pencil really fast, the two separate pictures just blur together. Your eyes can't tell them apart anymore. And boom, the bird looks like it's trapped right inside the cage. It's such a great aha moment. So what's the deal here? Is it magic? Nope, it's science. It's this thing called persistence of vision. Basically, your brain holds on to an image for just a split second after your eyes have moved on. So when new pictures show up fast enough, like when you're spinning the pencil, your brain just smooths it all out and merges them into one moving picture. This isn't just some fun little toy. It's literally how cartoons and movies work. Okay, so that first experiment was all about how our brain sees the world around us. For this next one, we're going to look inward and find a really fascinating little glitch that's built right into our own eyes. And honestly, this one sounds even more like a magic trick. We're not combining images this time. We're making one disappear completely. But you guessed it, Samantha's going to show us it's pure science. And the setup for this one is just ridiculously simple. A piece of paper, two little shapes drawn a few inches apart. That's it. That is all you need to find a literal blind spot in your own vision. Now, the instructions are super important here. You've got to close one eye and really focus on just one of the shapes. By doing that, you're basically isolating your vision in a way that lets you expose this weird biological quirk. So, as you slowly bring that paper closer to your face, you'll hit this one specific point where the circle, the one in your peripheral vision, it just vanishes. Boof, it's gone. It's a really surprising and honestly kind of weird feeling when it happens. So why does that happen? It's amazing, actually. Turns out we all have a blind spot in each eye. It's the physical spot where your optic nerve plugs into your retina, which means there are 0 light-detecting cells right there. Normally, you'd never ever notice it because your brain is so clever. It just fills in the gaps with information from your other eye. This little experiment just perfectly isolates it and reveals it. All right, so we've seen a couple of really fun experiments, but the real genius of this book isn't just the cool party tricks. It's the whole mindset it teaches about the art of discovery itself. So Samantha lays out some simple but really powerful rules for any scientist in training. First, start small. Don't try to bite off more than you can chew. Second, always be safe. Tell a parent what you're up to. And maybe the most important one, just stay curious and use experiments to find your own answers. And that, right there, is the whole point. See, great science isn't about memorizing a bunch of facts from a textbook. It's about learning how to ask better questions. After the blind spot trick, Samantha doesn't just stop. She asks, well, what do you think would happen if you used a colored piece of paper? One discovery just sparks the curiosity for the next one. It's a chain reaction. And this final image, it just nails the whole idea. I mean, look at this. Samantha's holding a blank sign, but it's not an empty page. It's an invitation. That sign is blank because the next great experiment, the next big discovery, well, it's waiting for you to write it. So when you boil it all down, the real takeaway here isn't just the cool facts about persistence of vision or blind spots. It's a challenge. It's about adopting Samantha's mindset. The book leaves us with this really empowering question, and I'm going to pass it right on to you. What simple question about the world around you can you go out and investigate today?